This is their last long road journey as well, and they'd like to finish it off in winning fashion. We're glad you're with us this afternoon here on KLZZ AM 600. Stay tuned. We'll join the simulcast on Channel 51, and soccer's coach Ron Newman joins us after this. Branko Segota open scoring just a minute 19 into the game. San Diego leads the Wichita Wings 1-0. All-star Brian Quinn's been hot of late. His 13th goal gave the Sox a 2-0 lead just 2 minutes into the game. Then Segota, unquestionably the hottest player in the league, put in his second of the night with help from Sockers midfielder Gene Wilrich. And the Sockers led the Wichita Wings 3-0. The Wings finally found net when their top scorer, Eric Rasmussen, drove a ball through Zoltan Toth's hands. The Wichita Wings pulled to within 2. And there was more to come from the Wings. Andy Chapman pulled them to within a goal, steering his 18th of the season past Zoltan Toth to make it 3-2. But then Hugo Perez shot, hit the arm of a Wichita defender. Dropped to the waiting Gene Wilrich. He booted it in to make it 4-2 Sockers. But Wichita came back once more. Barry Wallace, a defender, narrowed the gap again with his first goal since a trade from the Minnesota Strikers. Then the turning point in this game. The Wings defender Kevin Cooley stops Kaz Dana's shot with his arm. Wilrich took the ensuing penalty kick, easily beating Mike Dowler 5-3 Sockers. And then it was hat-trick time for Segota. His second 3-goal effort in as many nights. Jim Gorsuch, now in the Sox nets for the second half, assisting on Segota's 3rd goal of the night. And then some icing for the Sockers cake. Segota sets up Steve Jungle's 38th goal of the year. San Diego beats the Wings for the 8th straight time. The final 7-3. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Randy Hahn, and welcome to the Richfield Coliseum, where tonight the San Diego Sockers will take on the Cleveland Force. Who is the hottest team in the league? The Baltimore Blast say they are, but the Sockers, winners of 7 of their last 8, just might be. We'll find out how hot tonight when they play the Force. Coming up, Ron Newman, head coach of the Sockers, as our pregame show continues here on the San Diego Sockers Network. State, can you keep it up through a tough 4-game road trip that starts tonight here in Cleveland?
Well, we've done so well on the road that we just got to hope that we can keep it going, Randy.
You have some injury problems, though.
Yeah, it's looking a little bit dangerous now. You know, we lost Vidal and Guy at the beginning of the season, then we lost Addy, then we lost Siri, and then we lost Hugo Perez, and Cassie's hurting a little bit tonight. I don't know how much he can go. So when you lose that many, you know, you're getting a little bit short. We can't afford any more. Kind
of ironic, Ron. You are 3-3 lifetime against Cleveland, 8-0 against Wichita, but I think you would rate Wichita probably as a better team than Cleveland at this point.
Well, yeah, we haven't had much trouble with Cleveland, but we do respect their ability, but for some reason they've not managed to turn it on at any time against us, and it's been quite easy pickings for us. And but you're always a little apprehensive that you're going to catch them one day when they're really playing up to their potential.
I guess you're hoping Branko Segota can continue his hot streak here. He's got his share of points against Cleveland along with everybody else. He has to be the hottest forward in the country right now.
I would say so, and I think that's where not being selected for the All-Star team really makes it look a fallacy. But yeah, he's playing incredibly well, and he's playing with so much confidence. So I hope we can keep that going.
Good luck, Ron. I know you want to win before going into Chicago.
Oh, yeah, that'll be the next big one.
Ron Newman, head coach of the Sockers. Thanks, Ron. And we will be back with the opening kickoff as the Sockers take on the Force here in Cleveland after this. Hello again, everyone. Welcome live to Cleveland. where the Sockers and the Cleveland Force preparing to battle. There's P.J. Johns. He's in the Force nets with a 5.10 goals against average and a 3-1 one-loss record. And down at the other end for the San Diego Sockers, Jim Gorsuch at 3.97 and 12-6. And we are underway live on the simulcast, Channel 51 and KLZZ AM 600. Glad you're with us on this Sunday evening here in Ohio. Opening kickoff. It comes back in front of the Cleveland goal where Mike Sweeney will play it back to P.J. Johns. There's our officials, Torres Cabrichin on the left. And on the right, Gino DiPolito. And the third official in the middle is Vito Tusta from here in Cleveland. Ball comes back to Gorsuch. And now up to Kevin Crowe. Sockers coming into this game atop the West at 21-7. Tied for the league lead with the Baltimore Blast, who won this afternoon. We'll give you that final just a little bit later. Blast are playing at home against Pittsburgh today, and anytime Baltimore plays at home, you've got to think it's almost a guaranteed win, and it was again today. Cleveland at 16-12. They are 4.5 off the pace. Actually now make that 5 off the pace behind Baltimore. Here's Craig Allen. In the midfield for Kai Huskabee, the Force captain. Back for Mike Sweeney, now to Craig Allen. On the field for San Diego, Jungle, Segota, Wilrich, Clavillo, and Crowe. Keith Murphy down the right side. He'll take on Wilrich. Gene stays with him. Ball comes back into the slot. Segota will feed it up for Zungle. Here's Steve on a break down the left side. Segota running bravely down the right wing. Zungle holds up just a bit. Now the pass to Branko. Moving in on Huskabee, the ball comes loose and toward the side of the goal. P.J. Johns tosses it into the corner. Quinn wins the ball up at the red line and back for Gary Collier as San Diego maintains possession. Back over to Schmetzer. Katakalitis again receiving it up the right side. This is Segota. He's got some room. Watch him let go that shot. It's deflected and in! Segota gets a lucky break on a ball that went in off, I believe, defender Alex Tarnozzi. And it's 1-0 Sockers as Segota keeps the streak going. 7 goals against Cleveland going into this game. Or rather, 5 goals and 3 assists. And this time, a deflection, and P.J. Johns was down and out of it. And Segota gets his 31st goal of the year. George Katakalitis with the assist at 8:42. And it's 1-0 San Diego. They're 11-2 when they score first. It's blocked by Wilrich and goes out of play for corner kick Cleveland with 8 seconds to go on the power play. What a great play by Newman and the Sockers coming back on that counterattack shorthanded. Zungle came sprinting off the long end of the bench, got a breakaway, but shot it off the high glass. Now the corner kick, George Nanchoff with brother Louis at the far post. Huskabee out there as well with Craig Allen and Keith Murphy. Wilrich standing in front of Nanchoff with the ball. Drops it back for Murphy, who scores. Murphy ties it up. Nanchoff out of the corner, faked the ball into the box and then dropped it back for number 25. And the big blonde forward makes it 1-1. Good setup. And then it bounced once before going in far post. Keith Murphy. George Nanchoff will get the assist at 13:07, a power play goal for Cleveland. So the fouls kill San Diego on that particular situation. Cleveland with 4 fouls right now, but there's only 1:53 left in the period. If they can lay off, they'll be out of trouble. Nicely. Benny Dargle watching him. Segota cuts in front the other way. Branko now to the left corner, taking the pass from Jungle. Got a shot away, but Johns handles it on the grass. And now to the right for Dargle. 1-1 score late in the first period. Dargle up to the red line. Shoves it ahead for Ward. Ward now to a breaking Pete Murphy up the right wing. Tarnozzi is deep, but the pass by Murphy goes right to Gorsuch. 3 seconds in the period. Segota will get one last crack at it. As the horn sounds, it's up in the seats. That's our first period on the Kobe Sports Arena Swap Meet scoreboard. It's the Sockers 1 and the Force 1 from Cleveland. We're back on the San Diego Sockers Network after this. Deeper. And Huskabee will clear it to midfield. Now 12 seconds. Schmetzer works it left side for Daly. Daly along the lane for Zungle. He's bumped. Back for Daly. 5 seconds to go in front for Crow. Tried for the deflection. Hoskovy kicked it out. And the horn sounds to end our first half of play. So no scoring in the second period. San Diego get one, the Force get one. And on our video library scoreboard, it's a 1-1 tie at the half. Stay tuned for our halftime show live from Cleveland. Come All-Star time this season with 5 representatives, and not the least of which is soccer's midfielder number 14, Brian Quinn. And I guess, Brian, it's a real thrill to be in the All-Star game in your first season in the MISL.
Yeah, Randy, it was a bit of a surprise for me, but a happy one. And I think the rest of the guys that got picked are a bit despondent that Branko Segota didn't make it, and that was a lot of feeling about the club that he didn't make it, so we're a bit surprised about that.
The voting is done by the players, and of course you voted along with all the other soccers for all the other players except those on your own team. When the players vote, do they take a lot of time thinking about it? Do they base it on this year, do you think, or do they go a lot on past reputation, which I think is maybe a reason that Branko didn't get in?
Maybe to a certain extent, Randy, because as of the voting, we hadn't seen Wichita, but from what we've read of them, we had to pick Randavad and the goalkeeper, Darler. So I think to a certain extent you may be right in what you say there.
Brian, the Sockers at this point in the season, their best record ever at the halfway point plus a few games. What is it about this Sockers team this year that even is better than last year according to the records?
I think, Randy, there's so much talent. A lot of games we go out and we play. Maybe everyone's not unsung, but we're always going to score goals. We've got so many people who can score the goals, and in the games where the offense hasn't been scoring, we've got the people at the back who's come through, like Fernando, Brian Smetzer, Kevin Crow, George Katakalitis, all been having strong games. And when you do have that, I mean, we're going to win games, and I think that's what it is, Randy.
I think it was Brian Brown of the San Diego Union the other day said that you're the Pete Rose of the MISL, Mr. Hustle. It's really your style to get to the ball in a hurry, and you don't seem to be afraid of mixing it up on the boards every once in a while, the odd collision here and there. Has that been your style throughout? Because I know you've been involved in hurling over in Ireland, and that's a sport where there's a lot of physical play.
Yeah, Randy, I think of Brian Brown got me mixed up with Pete Rose because we wear the same number. And yeah, I used to like to get the ball all the time, and it's a fun part of the game, although you have to do the other parts as well. When we don't have the ball, I've got to try and get it back, and it's only half the game when we have the ball, so I like to be involved when I'm on, and it's a lot of fun when you're on this team and you get a lot of ball and you can play all the time, and it's my privilege to be on this team.
Sometimes it's frustrating for defensive-minded players and even defensive midfielders. They look at the stats and they don't see their point totals up there, and often the media looks at the points and regards a player by the stats. Did you ever get frustrated that sometimes you're getting the ball for a Steve Jungle or a Segota or a Wilrich and maybe not getting the points yourself?
No, Randy, never, because I can't do what they do, and I don't think they can do my job, but if we all are cohesive and I can get them the ball and we win the game, that's most important to me. And sometimes it's nice to get the goals, and if it don't come your way, you kind of get frustrated, but it doesn't mean a great deal to me as long as we go from one game to the next one and the feeling's good on the club. It's when we lose, and then you get a lot of ill feeling and people trying to make excuses, which I don't like. So I prefer to win the game, and it keeps everyone happy.
Brian, you moved around a little bit. Los Angeles first with the Aztecs, then up to Montreal, where I know you really enjoyed it with the Manique until they folded, now in San Diego. And I know you've just had a recent addition in the past couple of years to your family. How about San Diego? Is it the place you want to stay? And how about settling even after soccer?
I think, Randy, that my next contract's going to be a decisive factor because I don't want to be moving anymore. And when my contract comes up, I have 3 children now, as you know, and I don't want to be moving anywhere else. Whether it's San Diego or not, I'll have to wait and see. I really like it there, but I want some stability. I want a contract maybe 4 years, and then I can plan ahead, and my little girl will be going to school next year. So it's going to be a major decision, and as far as I'm concerned, I've got a lot of things to weigh up. My wife and I will talk about it, and I'd like to stay in San Diego, but all things being equal, we'll just have to make a decision when it comes.
All-Star break is a time for you not only to be involved in the showcase game, but to take a little breather and think about the rest of the season. And obviously it's going to be a tough stretch. You've got lots of games against people like Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and Wichita close to you in the division. What's the key for the Sockers down the stretch, do you think?
I think, really, we've got to avoid injuries, especially the key players, and I think after this long road stand now, we're going to go home, and I think most of the games at home, we've got to win at home. and we've got to keep within Baltimore, and when it comes to the end of the season, try and get that home field advantage, because it means so much in the playoffs when you do have the home field advantage, and I think that'll be a decisive factor in the playoffs.
Well, Brian, you're to be congratulated for your naming to the All-Star team. It's an honor most deserved by you and the rest of the San Diego Sockers. Best of luck here. I guess you'd probably rather go somewhere else than Cleveland again in February, but that's where it is, and good luck there.
Thanks very much, Randy.
Brian Quinn, All-Star for the San Diego Sockers. Halftime here at the Richfield Coliseum. We'll be back with highlights. Basically the same kind of scenario here thus far. Very close ball game. Let's see who will break it open, if anyone does. Last thing Cleveland would want, I think, would be overtime. They have 11 one-goal games this year, and they have played 7 overtime games. We're underway now with live action. Sockers defending to go to our right. They're in their traveling blues tonight. Cleveland defending to our right in their home yellows. Ty Huskabee at center on the starting line with Cleveland. With Keith Allen, or Craig Allen rather, Keith Murphy, Benny Dargle and Mike Sweeney. Now an interception by Jungle in midfield. To the right for Branko Segota. Crosses the Cleveland red line. Crow makes a run. Segota, left foot shot, and that's way wide. Jungle gets the rebound, chests it down, far post. Crow with the left footer, and he bounced it weakly into the arms of P.J. Johns. If Kevin puts some more on that one, it's in. Zungle with a great feed. Kevin did hit it first time. Didn't get a good enough shot away, though. Here's Segota. Left side. Blasts one through, and he scores. And Segota continues this torrid streak against the force. It's 2-1. A key goal as Branko gets his second of the night. That's 8 in 3 games. Segota through the legs of P.J. Johns from the left wing. Very close to where he scored from last time here in Cleveland on one of his 3 goals. So Segota 2/3 of the way to another hat trick. 2-1 the score. Just 52 seconds into this third period. Segota connecting with his 32nd of the season. Hit the 30-goal mark Friday night. Cleveland back now. This is Dennis Mepham back to center for Benny Dargle. Dargle to the right for Louis Nanchop. You know, when Segota gets that room down the lane with that big shot, you know something dangerous is going to happen. Now to Zungle. Back for Daly through the legs of Huskabee. Quinn. And the Sockers are looking real good. Here's Segota. Up for Wilrich as he comes off the long end of the bench. Sockers worked that bench change so well. Wilrich shot, it's in! It's in! A goal for Wilrich, and the Sockers living up to their prior games here, opening it up in the third period, now 4-2. That one went in off the glass. P.J. Johns back and in. Gene saw an opening. Huskabee guarding Wilrich, and Gene drove it in. So Wilrich makes it 4-2 on our Kobe Swap Meet scoreboard. 1:56 to go here in the third period. We're back after this. Sorry. I don't know what I was thinking of. Huh? Yeah, I gave the wrong score.
Or on Detroit Road in Westlake, or by calling Teletron.
We're back in Cleveland where it's not 4-2, it's 3-1. I don't know what made me think Jim Gorsuch had given up another goal. He's playing so well. Has to be Defensive Player of the Week. With Segota, the Offensive Star of the Week in the MISL. Just 2 outstanding individuals for San Diego. Side for Quinn, 40 seconds to go. Chipped in for Zungle. Zungle being watched by Benny Dargle. Steve trying to get a shot away. Leaves it for Segota, but Sweeney came in, read back. 25 seconds left as Sweeney comes to center. To the right for Alex Tarnozzi. Tarnozzi, right foot shot, tipped away. Here's the rebound, Sweeney. It went wide. Deflected and went wide. Here's Dargle. Runs into Brian Quinn. Now Segota with 9 seconds. tripped up near the red line. No foul. In comes Keith Murphy. Foul against Cleveland. That's a penalty. Oh, what a break. 5 seconds to go in the period, and we're going to have a Cleveland penalty. In 5 more seconds, the fouls would have reset. Keith Murphy going in real hard on the boards. First, Segota pulled down, then Murphy pinning Brian Quinn along the wall.
Time 14:55.
So San Diego go on the power play for the first time in this game. Sockers power play going into this game, 41%. Good on 20 of 48 attempts. Second best in the league to start the week. However, they were 1 for 6 against the Cosmos, which will bring their average down. That was back on Wednesday when the Sockers destroyed New York 9-2. Then the Cosmos lost the next night in, I guess it was Las Vegas, 12-3. And then they lost again last night in Los Angeles, 7-3. So New York's outscored 28-8 in their last 3 games. Peter Ward will serve the penalty for Cleveland. This is a power play beginning with 5 seconds to go here in the third period. Then the Sockers will have the rest of it to start the fourth period. Crow, Jungle, Quinn, Segota, and Woolrich on the power play. This will be a long kick by Woolrich from midfield. Chips it in for Jungle in the box. P.J. Johns goes up high, tosses it outside. 1 second to go, and a shot by Quinn at the buzzer. So that's the period. We've played 3 here on the Kobe Sports Arena Swap Meet scoreboard. Sockers, as we thought they would, open it up. It's now 3-1. We're back with fourth period action live from Cleveland after this. 401 for information on prorated season packages. That's Cox at 262-1122, Southwestern at 695-9401. Julie B and the Las Vegas Americans against your Sockers when the homestand returns on the 20th. Look at our broadcast location. Yours truly, along with Sockers Public Relations Director Dick Chrisman, doing a job up here with us. Dick helps us out on all our road games with all the stats, numbers, etc., and does a fine job for the Sockers in the publicity department. And our producer Kermit Schumard working the telecast tonight. Over on the radio side, our producer Doug Smith. Lots of people involved in getting these games on the air back to San Diego, and a fine, fine crew they are. We're ready to start the fourth period of action. Sockers on the power play now for 1:55. Bernie James on the field for the first time in this game. In fact, for the first time in 12 quarters. He was benched after being pulled off the field for letting in a goal at the game at Wichita. That was a game in which Cleveland trailed 3-0, then went ahead 7-4 and ended up having to win in a shootout. James was benched and then was told to go back on the field and said no, he didn't want to. And he hasn't played since then. His first 2:27 now. Jimmy will set it down on the goal crease line, getting ready to kick it upfield. Punts it over the head of Huskovy, intercepted by Murphy. Comes back down to Kevin Crow, a bouncer. Big Craig Allen gets his body in front of it. And now Louis Nanchoff at the right point, back for Dargle. Here comes the Cleveland pressure. Nanchoff at the right side, a long shot at the side. George Nanchoff scores. A goal for Nanchoff, and Gorsuch's arguing with Kabrichin for a handball. We'll get a chance to see it on the replay for our TV viewers. Cleveland get an extra attacker goal. It's a one-goal game. Nanchoff, yes, it was a handball. Oh, and it went uncalled. A handball off Nanchoff. Yep, brought it down, the left arm, and then kicked it in. Should not have been a goal. George Nanchoff with the goal. Here's Zungle on a break. But here comes Cleveland again. Huskovy in front of the goal, and Quinn will clear it. Dargle heads it back in. Up the left side for Huskovy. Far post, and Katakalita is forced to kick it out of play. It did not go over 3 lines, but it goes out. He was punched back in by a fan. No, it hit the glass. Here's Murphy now with 1:38 to go. Murphy, long kick. Crow will head that out of play, and we have corner. Cleveland, this is dangerous. for the Force to tie it. George Nanchop on the ball. The crowd on their feet. Nanchop on the corner kick. Back out to Furphy. His shot blocked by Quinn, and it goes out of play way over to the other side. And that'll be a kick in Force. So Nanchop gets to go. At 12:54. Now on the restart. Perfect. To the right for Benny Dargle. Dargle down the right lane into San Diego zone. Leaves it for George Nanchop. Now top of the box. Here's Furphy's shot. Katakalitis blocking that. Furphy again, and Crow kicked it away from in front. The Cleveland net is empty. They're using the extra attacker. Benny Dargle to his left for Furphy. Furphy into the corner. Hoskovy in front. Katakalitis trying to get you loose. A shot by Nanchop is high. Jungle on the rebound at the wall. Forced away from the ball. We have a foul, and it's against Cleveland with 58 seconds to go. 3-2 Sockers. George Nanchop tripping and pushing Steve Jungle. Then Quinn was brought down. Here's Crow to Katakalitis. Near trouble. Now he gets it to center for Zungle. Steve trying to lob it forward. Gave it away to George Nanchop. Zungle grabbing onto Nanchop. And the Sockers break it up. Katakalitis gives it away. Why are they giving it away? They don't need to get it down the field that fast. Zungle kicking it to the red line. Last chance for Cleveland, perhaps. 33 seconds to go. Here's Hoskovy at the side. Turns it around. It's loose in front, and a shot was blocked by Gorsick. Katakalitis trying to head it away. It's still loose at the side. George kicks at it. It comes to the left point. 20 seconds to go. Dargle down the left wing. Katakalitis banks it. Here's Segota with a chance, but it'll roll over to Furphy after the whistle. Foul San Diego. 15 seconds. Kick in Force. Here's Furphy. Right at goal. Gorsick punches that one way up high. Up goes Dargle. Heads it back down to Hoskovy. We have a foul against Cleveland. 11 seconds to go, and the Sockers will get it back. 3-2 to score. San Diego leading. George Nanchop scored at 12:54 to bring the Force to within a goal. An extra attacker goal at that. Here's the restart. Zungle up the wing. Gave it right to Dargle. Into the zone, but Crow heads it back the other way. 5 seconds to go as it bounces out of play. And this will be a kick-in Force. Their last chance with 4 seconds to go. It was a 3-line ball, so a better chance than normal. Normally it would have gone over the glass. Furphy up at the red line. He'll chip a high one. This hit a Socker. Goes into the corner. 1 second to go. This game is over as Hoskovy throws it into the back of the net. No goal. And the Sockers win it. Our final score, San Diego 3 and the Cleveland Force 2, as Ron Newman comes out onto the field to congratulate his players, and what a fine win it was. Our final score again, Sockers 3, the Force 2. Stand by for our post-game show from Cleveland.